Okay, jumping into Superman issue 3 All-Star Superman issue 3. So, issue 1 and 2 released the other day, whatever. Superman, everybody on that poll, I think like a couple people voted, but Superman won. Supergirl got 0 votes, and I was intrigued. I want to do Supergirl. So Supergirl will probably be closer to Supergirl time, and then I'll release a couple Fantastic Four videos every now and then, but Superman, in my opinion, is better than Fantastic Four. I'm a big Superman fan. So hopping into it, Lois is opening her gift that Clark got her last issue. So last issue, Clark was like, here, I actually made you this new suit, and I made you this little chemical thing to give you powers. So he's like, drink it. It's my superpowers in liquid form. Happy birthday, Lois. And she's like, I get it for a whole day. Gulps that shit down. And then we just instantly cut to Metropolis, where this giant creature named Kroll is causing a ruckus with his friends. He's a big red monster. Then we cut to the Daily Planet, where Steve Lombard is like, that was my car. You guys, what the hell? But basically, their plane got canceled because of these giant creatures. And then Jimmy Olsen's watch is beeping, and he's like, don't worry, Superman's on the way. You heard my signal watch. The classic signal watch.
Sure. Could you excuse me for a second?
Oh, I can't hear anything.
You're not supposed to. It's hypersonic.
Jimmy, the man's a superhero, not a dog.
What is this thing? It is a signal watch. Superman has super hearing, right? We need him. We call. Maybe you should only use that in a real emergency, Jimmy. Smooth, CK, will do.
Superman flies in with Lois, and he's like, shouldn't take very long, Lois. Last thing I won on your birthday was a reptile invasion that came from the Earth's core. And then she's like, I felt cheated if there wouldn't be any monsters. And he's like, someone beat us here. And we see a mysterious man pick up this reptile Kroll and just zoot him into space. She's like, I knew today was going to be a good day. And Superman's like, it's Samson. Samson in this is like a time-traveling person, but before, they don't really talk about him. It's like one of those things that Grant Morrison kind of made up. He appeared like in a couple issues and some other stuff, so whatever. But Samson's like, I took care of it. And then Samson starts flirting with Lois, and he's like, by Yahweh, I fought the good fight across 3 galaxies. Yada, etc. He's like, I'm sure my fellow super strongman would agree that he's never seen a woman like you, Lois. And then we peer over. Who is that? It's Atlas. And I like his costume. He's got the little, like, he has the Earth on him to symbolize him carrying the Earth because he's Atlas. That's awesome. But Atlas is like, oh, the only thing that would make me come back to this century is you, Lois Lane. He's like, I swear the everlasting shows of Olympus, you are dripping allure in my clinging garment. And then Lois is like, I'm only like this for 24 hours. Superman made me them for my birthday. And Superman picks up Kroll, and he's like, Atlas is here too? This sucks. He's like, this lady's with me, guys. Just piss off. And then Samson's like, you know what? Instead of that, we should let the lady decide. Why don't we just challenge each other and perform a couple challenges to prove our worthiness to the lady? It's like, we'll each perform a super feat of strength in honor of Lois Lane. Whoever wins gets her. So while they're doing that, Samson's like, I defeated Kroll, the son of the eve of the war on Metropolis. And then Atlas is like, I subdued the army. Doesn't look like there's anything else for you to do, Superman. You can just bounce. And he's like, no, we're going to take these people back to where they belong. So he brings them back down, and the king is like, I am sorry. My son should be punished for his crimes. He should have never came up there. My son says that he was goaded into attacking. And Superman's like, well, I'll deal with the rest of this. Thank you. So he comes back to Samson, who's flirting with Lois, trying to put like this necklace on her. And he's like, these crown jewels I borrowed from the Ultra Sphinx back in the first dynasty of Adamhotep, the 80th century. And then Lois is like, I'm flattered. I like these, but you'd have to do a lot more to, outdo Superman. And Samson's like, who cares? A night on the town with Superman can never rival the date of 1,000 lifetimes time traveling with Samson. When you're in the passenger seat of my custom chronomobile, eternity's the limit. We'll die al fresco on Triceratops Burrington in the twilight of the Cretaceous era, and then end the evening with drinks on the crucifixion. And then Atlas shows up and he's like, if I win, I'll make the Titans kneel before you. And then I'll have them draw hypoglyphs of you, perfumed of the love chariot across the brave Empyrean. I'll crush raw diamonds in my fists for you. And that's just on one day. And then Superman's like, can we talk, Lois? Because he's like, I don't get it. You keep flirting with them. Like, that's hurting my feelings. And then Lois is like, I'm trying to teach you a lesson, like maybe I'm getting back at you because you keep impersonating Lex, or keep impersonating Clark Kent. And then she's like, don't even worry, Superman. It's my birthday. I'm just having a little fun. So Superman goes over to Samson. He's like, I don't like you very much, Samson. Wherever you go, trouble keeps following you. What do I have to do to make you keep your hands off my girl? And he's like, I'm a time traveler, Superman. According to my sources, you're going to be dead. And he pulls out a Daily Planet Superman dead. And he's like, in fact, it looks like she'll be needing a shoulder to cry on anyways. All's fair in love and war. So we know that Superman is dead in the future. Let's go. So they're still bantering. And Samson's like, you'll be too busy with your challenges to even think about dating. And he's like, we got an appointment in Poseidon's at 3:30. So stop it. And then this glowing aura shows up. And Lois is like, is this part of my surprise? And then Alice is like, there's something we forgot to mention. This thing keeps following us since we borrowed these jewels from the Ultra Sphinx. And then Samson tells Superman, he's like, hey, just before your death, they said that you completed 12 super challenges, the stuff of legend. You created life, you escaped from the underverse, you overthrew the tyrant's son, and you answered the unanswerable question. And then, so then this thing asked the unanswerable question. And it says, return what was stolen and pay the price. Picks up Lois Lane, holding her by the jewels that they stole. And then he runs up and he's like, Lois, no! And the Ultra Sphinx says, halt. She exists now in a condition of quantum uncertainty, neither alive nor dead. To answer correctly is life. Failure to answer correctly is death. This is my judgment, Superman. You must answer my questions. And then Superman's like, you idiot, you two idiots. You stole this necklace? Like, what are you doing? And Samson's like, we didn't mean for this to happen. We didn't know that it would try to come with us. And Atlas is like, we tricked you, but I swear it was never to harm Lois Lane. And Superman's like, if she dies, you guys are going to the Phantom Zone. I'm done with you. And then Samson's like, if we lose, if everything goes wrong, we'll fight by your side to stop this thing. And Superman's like, we don't have to fight, actually. I'll answer a question, whatever it is. Ask me the question, Ultra Sphinx, and it says, what happens when the unstoppable force meets the immovable object? And then Superman thinks for a minute, and he says, they surrender. And the Ultra Sphinx says, that is an acceptable response. So if you're ever wondering why, what happens when the Hulk and the Juggernaut meet, they surrender. Not really, but this is more of comparing Superman and Lex Luthor. This whole arc is about Lex Luthor and Superman's dynamic. So one of them is the unstoppable force, and one of them is the immovable object. You can really take a pick at which one is which. I have my opinions, but I won't share them. So he frees Lois, and Lois is like, Superman, I was alive and dead at the same time. And Superman's like, I got you. It's okay. We got to go to our date at the Poseidon's place. And then Atlas and Atlas and Samson are like, what about our contest? That wasn't even a feat of strength. That sucks. And then they offer to wrestle, and he's like, you know what? I'll fight you. So he takes him over to this little island away from everybody, and he's like, okay, so we agreed. If I win, you and Samson leave the 21st century right now. And then they're like, oh, we're going to win and take Superman. And he arm wrestles both of them at the same time and just crushes them. And he's like, you guys could quit at any time. Just smashes and breaks Samson's arm, and then Atlas is going down, and he's like starts whistling, just smashes him down, crushes the entire island. Awesome. So they get back from their little date at Poseidon's, fly up, and Lois is like, everybody knows why I like you, but I have a question. Why do you like me? And Superman's like, I guess there's one thing I just can't help, Lois. And then they fly to the moon. I mean, what a flex. Kissing on the moon? I can't do that. It's impossible. So they fly back down, and Lois is like, my birthday gift is starting to wear off. And he's like, I can't smell the trees anymore. I can't see that gorgeous radio anymore. The stars stopped singing. And she's like, I'll never have to put up with the annoying we of Jimmy Olsen's Superwatch
thing. It is a signal watch. Superman has super hearing. Right?
As long as I live, I'm grateful for that. But I'm tired and I'm sore and feels like I've been dancing all night. But thank you for letting me live in your world, Soups. And he's like, yep, it's fine. My pleasure. I don't care. So then she's like, I wonder what Clark was. Like, you had a really good Clark Kent impression. So where is Clark anyway? And he's like, I had a question for you, but before he asks it, she falls asleep. He just puts her to bed, and then he just leaves. And then issue ends with Daily Planet, Superman is dead by Clark Kent. See, that's a good little point right there. Is how is Clark Kent writing a story if Superman is dead? So we'll see. But we're gonna hop into issue 4, Superman. This is more of like a Jimmy Olsen story. Point of view of Jimmy Olsen. So it starts with Jimmy's girlfriend being like, that's it, Jimmy. We're done. And you've been named the worst dressed man in Metropolis for the second year in a row. And he's like, that's not fair. They took the For the Day feature from me. I was dressed up as some jester, and then this year I was dressed up as a homeless person. And she's like, make all the excuses you want. I don't really care. This space pilot asked me out on a date, and I'm seriously thinking about taking it. So, believe it, Jimmy. I'm out of here. And he's like, this sucks. It's all because that gypsy cursed me with bad luck. So then we cut to Jimmy and Perry White talking, and he's like, I honestly don't get it. The other half wanna be with you, and the other half hate you. So. What else? What do you got for me next? Because everybody's reading your papers for some reason on the weekends. So you got anything else? And he's like, picture this. Some say space is the final frontier, but for me, Jimmy Olsen, it was a small step in an incredible journey and a chance to swap my stylish threads for a coveted coat of many colors. We can't go wrong with that. And he's on the moon now. So you'll never guess who Jimmy Olsen came to on the moon. He came to our friend Quentin, Mr. Q. So he's like, I do love your little newspaper articles on the weekend, but they made a deal that Jimmy Olsen would be in charge for 24 hours. So Quentin's like, my G-Men security team is with me on doing other projects, but everything else is in your hands. But Jimmy's like, you can keep your bodyguards wherever. I'll be good running it by myself because I got this Superwatch.
Maybe you should only use that in a real emergency, Jimmy.
Quentin's like, the famous Superman SIGNALWATch.
Smooth, CK, will do.
Let's hope you won't need that. So Mr. Q's like, I gotta go help these people. I picked enough of these visual languages to make myself understood, and now they've invited me to visit their planet. I can't turn down an offer like that, so you're in charge, Jimmy. For the next 24 hours, take care of everything. Please don't destroy everything. And he's like, let's go. For the next 24 hours, I'm going to be the most eccentric zillionaire daredevil ever. I'm a futurist from the future, think tank from the Sea of Ingenuity on the dark side of the moon. I am project director for a day. And he puts on a famous little color jacket. I want one of those. How do I get one of those? That's so cool. If I could get one of those rainbow lab coats, dude, I'd be rocking that shit hard. So anyways, they bring Jimmy over and they're like, so come with me, Jimmy. We're going to show you all the stuff inside these labs. Please don't destroy anything. Don't touch anything. And he's like, okay, I won't. And he passes by this doomsday machine. He's like, what is this? Do not open until doomsday. He's like, I can't decide who I am from one day to the next. Should we open this or whatever? And she's like, no, get away from that. And he's like, come on, I want to see all the good stuff, forbidden stuff, Black Ops monstrosities. Like, I want to see all the stuff nobody else is able to see. And then she's like, that's a highly dangerous experimental stem cell accelerator designed to transform a soldier into a killing machine. So please leave it alone. And then they go downstairs, and she's like, the shielded tunnels beneath the lunar surface are known as the outer burrows, and I brought you down here for a reason. It's 1800 hours, Director Olsen. It's time to check the portal to the Underverse. So Jimmy's like, what goes on the Underverse? And this is also what Samson brought up last time. Last issue, where he's like, you get to survive the Underverse. So we're exploring the world of super heavy gravity, newly discovered basement level hidden beneath the known structure of the universe. You're looking at the dense foundations of reality where time itself cools to a solid. Bizarro infra technicians are mining for minerals. And then they're like, oh, we have something, look out. And Director Olsen, Jimmy Olsen, falls in, or almost falls in, I swear. Grabs onto the thing, he's like, never mess with the Queen of Gypsies, blaming it on the bad luck. Then we cut to Superman talking to Perry, and he's like, this is why I've hired you. I mean, this is honest to good God journalism, Kent. Like, this is amazing. I'll never find anything like this in forever. And he's like, I gotta go, Perry. I left the oven on. And he flies away to go save Jimmy because he hears Jimmy Olsen's Signal Watch. So I need to find a clip for that or something. Been saying it. That's the theme of this video, is the Signal Watch.
Thing. It is a signal watch. Superman has super hearing, right?
So he saves Jimmy, stops the Underverse thing, pulls out the weird meteor, and he's like, here's what's caused all the trouble. Like, this is what's causing this weird abnormality. And they're like, Superman, I don't want you to worry, but I think you should back away from that because it's black kryptonite. She's like, it's a new isotope, low frequency end of the K mineral spectrum. It seems we dug up a radioactive fragment of your homeworld that's been buried for years in the Underverse. And Jimmy's like, a new type of kryptonite? I don't like this. This could kill you. And he's like, no, since I went to the sun, I am good. I don't feel anything different. I feel good. And Jimmy's like, good to hear that. So for a moment, I couldn't help thinking about that gypsy curse that I had. And then we see Superman kind of, I like this, that his speech turns from gray to, or white to gray to black, kind of like a slow transition. And he's like, I don't like what you've done with that Signal Watch. You'd be dead without me, Jimmy. And he's like, oh, shit. Like, it did something to you. And he's like, I'm gonna get you, man. And then Jimmy's like, we can handle Superman who's a little mischievous and annoying, but are you okay? And he's like, no, I'm not. And he smashes the table, and he's like, it's going worse. Like, I'm the opposite of how I usually am, and it makes me bad. And you know why? I like to be bad. So it's shooting at Jimmy. So he's flipping between good and bad. This is what the technical bizarro Superman is, I guess. That this Superman is just being a little menace. He's not a new person. He's just a flipped personality, I guess. So he flies away, and Jimmy's like, we have a code red. What are we doing? So Superman, when he flew away, they made 3 Superman like machines to stop him. One is kryptonite that won't do anything to him because of his current state. The other one is the Phantom Zone that will shoot at him and put him into the Phantom Zone forever. And Jimmy's like, we can't do that one. And the other lady's like, what else could we do? Like, he could enslave the humanity, could cut the earth in half. And he's like, the third one is Doomsday, right? Like, we just have to get Doomsday. So, Mr. Olsen gets teleported down after Superman crashes through the Daily Planet. And he's like, ooh, I'm still as strong as I ever was. Where's Lois? And then Jimmy shows up and he's like, don't embarrass yourself like this, Superman. And he has like this little syringe. And Superman is like, what is up with you, Jimmy? Why do you got that dumb little syringe gun? I'm going to cut your hand off. And he hits him with the indestructible style watch. And then Jimmy injects himself with it. And he's like, this isn't for you. This is for me, Superman. So Jimmy turns into a doomsday monster. And he's like, oh, this is cool. And he beats the tar out of Superman. And let me tell you, so if Superman knew like a bunch of, actually, I don't know if he does know it or not, but I think he does. If he knew martial arts and stuff, he would probably just destroy Jimmy real quick. But that doesn't matter. This came out way before Batman did this stuff in one of those Elseworlds Darkest Night stories. So this is the OG dude injecting himself to turn into Doomsday. But they're fighting, and they're like, you got 30 seconds, Mr. Olsen, before Doomsday overloads your nervous system. So Jimmy shoots him with the ray into the building, and he's like, what happened to me? Why? No fair. Me weak. Why am I weak? He's talking like Bizarro usually does. And Jimmy's like, it's okay. The watch beeps, and we see Jimmy turn back into a regular person, and Superman falls over top of him, and he's like, don't tell anybody that Superman was like this. Like, you understand? And they give Jimmy Olsen some VIP tickets to his new Broadway smash, Frankenstein on Ice. And he's like, thank you. Superman and you just saved us from a terrible monster. And then Jimmy goes back to the moon, and he's laying in bed because he's all injured. And Superman's like, what a nightmare. That sucked. And he's like, hey, by the way, Jimmy, like, everything I said when I was kind of crazy, it wasn't true. Just take it with a pinch of salt. I'm sorry. And Jimmy's like, it's okay. That black Superman was everything you weren't. He was a bully and a liar. And Superman's like, without you, Jimmy, I would always be in a pinch. So thank you. And Jimmy's like, no problem, Superman. Like, you're my best friend. You saved me. And then the lady comes up to him and is like, good job, Mr. Olsen. You spent our annual budget in one day. And he's like, shut up. You have an infinity sign as your credit column. You have limitless resources. I don't really care. He's like, no firewall safe from Jimmy Olsen. Anyways, I got 10 hours left. Can you put something in the moon for me? So he goes back home to his apartment to his girlfriend wearing his amazing lab coat. And he's like, yo, what happened to the dude that was taking you out, Rock Handsome? And she's like, he got arrested for selling Mars rocks on eBay that were fake. So he's like, oh, well, anyways, I got this new wardrobe. Look at me in my stylish little trench coat, lab coat thing. Anyways, look what I wrote on the moon. I got 2 tickets to go see this Broadway. You coming with me? And she's like, yes, sir. So Jimmy wins in the end. Jimmy always wins. Style watch. Jimmy wins. Okay. Thank you for watching. That was issue 3 and 4. We got, I think there's like 12 issues on this. So we got a couple more videos. Let's go. I love this series. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.